People are fed up everywhere. And the entitled ones out there who have gotten away with treating people like garbage for far too long, they're finally being held to account. And I'm here for it. We're constantly hearing about the negative aspects of this digital era or age of technology that we seem to live in. It's coming more invasive all the time, which is somewhat true. But you know what? There's been a lot of good that's come from it as well. It's exposed people. It's exposed organizations. It's given the average person a voice with a simple cell phone. Even a powerless nobody, and I hate to use that term, can bring down a multi-million-dollar corporation. Average, ordinary citizens who don't mean any harm to anybody, they've been lied to for far too long. Employees were told that the customer was always right, when we know that's a lie, and that often left the employee feeling degraded or belittled. The customer's not always right. Sometimes that customer is a piece of trash, and they need to be told to stay out of that store or restaurant, that their business isn't welcome. We know that more people would support the manager for sticking up for the employee being degraded than to pander to some entitled brat out there. People have had their entire careers, their lives destroyed by bogus allegations just because somebody didn't get their way. But the entitled have been exposed. Again, these small devices here, these have given the victims, and I'll call them victims, a chance. It's given them a way out that just didn't exist in the past. I personally love watching people get exposed when their motives are self-serving, narcissistic, and they try to do their best to inflict harm on somebody else in a very public way. I'm going to give you a couple examples, and you might be aware of these, but there's one gentleman in particular named Joey Swoll. Joey's got a huge presence online across all platforms. I first saw his stuff on TikTok. His stuff is good, but it really took off when he started calling out these same entitled people at the gym who would make the most ridiculous claims and do their best to destroy someone's credibility while trying to look like the victim themselves. I've seen the videos, and maybe you have too, but he calls these people out without fear. And to a lot of people who maybe just want to go to the gym, they're not bodybuilders, they're not fitness gurus, they just want to maybe go to the gym, use some equipment, try to get back into shape. They don't mean any harm to anybody. To them, he's a hero. And again, I'm here for it. And maybe that's what's needed as well. People to stand up to these individuals without fear. People are tired of walking around on eggshells. You also don't have to look very far online to see the thousands of hours of police body cam footage where someone accused the police of things that just didn't happen. We've seen them recount their horrific experiences in tears, only to find out that what they're saying is a total lie, right down to the reason for the vehicle stop in the first place. And sure, it actually goes both ways. These same technologies have exposed some police officers who did the same thing and are just as guilty and are also being held to account. It's not like it hasn't happened before. Those videos are all posted online. But that's kind of my point. It's leveled the playing field for everybody. There's been some large-scale public events or protests in the past. I've been to some of them. Or other tragedies where the narrative pushed to the public simply was not true. And people with their own eyes, with their own ears, they can see the difference. And they can come up with their own conclusion. But people have had enough. And you see this everywhere, all over the world actually. They've had enough of the pettiness and are starting to push back. I've found myself in numerous situations, both in my personal and professional life, where I was dealing with some entitled, irate, unreasonable person who's used to acting out and getting their own way. If I don't record the incident, it's likely that someone else is going to record it. It could be uploaded, and once again, this person is now being held accountable. We see it everywhere. Some of them, those are the most viral posts online. I'm not for cancel culture, okay? That's not where I'm going with this anyways, and I think you know that. I'm also not for public shaming. But most of the time, these folks, these individuals, they've done it to themselves. I'm not for these things because I would rather these incidents not take place to begin with. But once again, these things, they've leveled the playing field. Has it gone too far, though? I would love to know your thoughts. And listen, if you find my content useful, educational, or entertaining at all, please consider subscribing to my channel, leaving a comment. The comments, I base a lot of these videos off those comments, and it also helps me know that I'm in the right direction, that people are paying attention. Listen, folks, thank you very much for watching. Until the next video, be safe out there, look after one another, and perhaps we will see you again.